day 3 of my Doctor Who video challenge, and like last week it was favorite companion, this week it's my least favorite companion. And like always, New Who only. And I chose Martha, not, before anybody yells at me, not because I'm a Martha hater. Martha was one of those companions I had to grow to like. I had to watch her series a few times before I really liked her. And in fact, it wasn't until her last episode of her main series before she leaves that I really liked her. The ending scene with the Doctor. And I feel like a lot of the reason why Martha gets so much hate is because the way she was set up. She was set up to come in right after Rose, who had just been, like, torn away from all of us, and there were a lot of feels going around, and so to have her come in, it was almost like a betrayal to even try and like her at first, I think, in a sense. And she felt like the rebound companion, and I think in a lot of ways she was written as the rebound companion, to a certain extent. Not saying that she didn't have her own character arc, her own development, her own character growth, but in a lot of ways I think she was meant to be the gap or the bridge from Rose into the idea that, yeah, the Doctor loses people, but companions come and go. You know, there are going to be more companions along the way, and you're going to lose more, you're going to lose your favorites, and there's going to be somebody else to replace them, and in a way, it was our first taste of realizing what a Time Lord's life is like. All the goodbyes that the Doctor has to go through, because then we start saying we're going through them with him. But, anyway, that spiel over with. Martha had a couple pros and cons about her for me. Pros first is that she was loyal, she was compassionate, she was strong, and she stuck up for herself. She didn't let the Doctor walk all over. But at the same time, she kinda did. Like, you know, she was just in a bad place, because every time, like, he's in a rut or something, he's like, God, I wish Rose was here. You know, I miss Rose. I wish Rose was here. You know, you're okay, but Rose is better. You know, and it kind of was the same sentiments, at least I was having as a fan. And so, while she's loyal to the Doctor, what you also find at the end of the series is that she's loyal to herself. She's loyal to her own happiness. And she's compassionate for the Doctor, and to other people, and to other species, and to other planets. But she's also compassionate to herself. And she's strong, and she saves the Doctor. And countless times she saves the Doctor. She saves other people. She stops, wars from continuing and breaking out. She's this very strong woman and person. But she also learns to be strong for herself, which I think is a very good distinction, because the cons are on the exact opposite of that. She was whiny a lot, especially at the beginning, when it came to Rose and being jealous of Rose and what Rose and the Doctor might have had, or what she assumed they had or didn't have, and she was just very, very jealous, very whiny in that respect, and very reboundish. So, through her series, through her character growth and her character arc, you really get to see her become loyal to herself, become loyal and compassionate to herself, knowing that at the end of the day, it is her happiness. She can't stay somewhere, even if she's staying with this being that is awesome, amazingly fantastic, and brilliant. If it's going to be detrimental to her own health, to her own happiness, to her own well-being, that you have to know when to bow out gracefully. And I think, and knowing that she's worth that, she's worth more than what the doctor could give her. She's, you know, worth more than a few, you know, one more trip in the TARDIS. You know, she's worth more than that, and she deserves more than that. And she's strong enough to say that and act on that. I think was really awesome to see. And it was a character, Martha was a character that you didn't really get why she was there, in the sense because she was so whiny and jealousy and everything from the very beginning, that at first you were like, okay, can you shut up? Can you just stop talking, please? And so at the end, at that final scene when she says, "You're not good for me," to the doctor, and walks out, then you get it. Or at least I did. And that's really what made me like her as a companion. Because I was like, the moment she decided that she wasn't going to be a companion anymore was the moment that I liked her. And that sounds really bad. But it wasn't because she was leaving. It was because she knew when she needed to leave. Which I think is really a good distinction from the other companions we had before and after. Like Rose. Rose was ripped away. She didn't want to leave. She wanted to keep traveling. Donna didn't have a choice. She had to forget the doctor. Well, she kind of did have a choice, but the doctor took it from her. Anyway. But ultimately, she didn't have a choice. And she had to forget the doctor, and therefore she couldn't travel with him anymore, even though she wanted to. She wanted to travel with him forever. And I think Amy was the same way at the beginning, but then she got Rory. And then it became a Amy-Rory thing. Where Rory went, Amy needed to go, and where Amy went, Rory needed to go. And it was nice that they could see the doctor, but ultimately the doctor wasn't going to be there for them forever. Which is a lot like what Martha did, but not the same thing, because Martha had to stand on her own. Which is why, in a very long-winded way, I have come to say that Martha is my least favorite companion. But that's not saying a whole lot, because I love the companions, and I love the companions that we've seen in New Who, even the newest one of Clara. I love what I've seen so far. And to be the least of something in such a marvelous group of individual characters that have their flaws and their differences and things that make them interesting is by no means a last place or failure of a position in my eyes. So, yeah. This has been day 3, and I shall post another one of these tomorrow. Thanks for watching.